1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show.
If we didn't have those, we would not have the necessary firmness of grip for dexterity, for making tools, for holding tools. And life could well have become, I don't know how you are with chopsticks. I sometimes use them, I've never been very good with chopsticks, but I can. If I'm forced to, I'll have them. But life could have been, for humans, it could have been kind of the equivalent of having to eat with chopsticks, which is not, for most of us, not the most ideal way for us to eat. You have to be quite practiced to control the chopsticks. But human civilization has developed because we have this opposable thumb, and it is an amazing digit. It goes round and round, as we know. It's got all sorts of capabilities, and as I say, you think about it, when you're on the keyboard on your laptop, just to illustrate that the thumbnail faces away from the other fingers, you use the tips of your fingers on the keyboard, but the side of your thumb. If you use your thumb when you're typing on the keyboard, the tips of your fingers and the side of your thumb, which just goes to illustrate that it is a bit of a one-off. Going back to our first question, some people say, well, we've got 8 fingers and 2 thumbs, but I think generally most people regard us as having to having 10 fingers, 5 on each hand. Now, going on from that, we say again, it's a magnificent feat of engineering. What we have also in our hands are something called corpuscles. Have you ever heard of corpuscles? Do you know what they are?
No.
Well, there's different types. I'll tell you what they are. They can be red and white sort of floating blood cells, or they can be nerve endings. As I say, they were discovered by a guy called Georg Meissner. And Meissner's corpuscles, basically what they detect is the lightest touch, the lightest breeze, such that, it's quite incredible really. The breeze on our cheek, it's only those corpuscles which we feel, that little breeze. And also things like any vibration, they're abundant, these things, in our fingertips, in our lips, in our kidneys. It's a sensitivity which is very hard to sort of define. Even, if I may say, in our erogenous zones, we talked about lips and tongue as well, we have these tiny little corpuscles. There are different types. We've got Meissner's, which detects the lightest touch or breeze. If you put your hand on a hot plate, perhaps from the oven, then that's a Ruffini corpuscle. You cry out because of the sensitivity of that. Vibrations are found by Pacinian corpuscles. And the incredible thing is, if you're trying to interpret something, you're digging for something with a spade, you dig down and it may be sand, it may be gravel. But when you dig down, these corpuscles in you, these are Pacinian corpuscles, they will tell you whether it's gravel or sand. You're only touching the spade. Think about that. But you know, your brain is telling you that is hard, it's a rock, or it's sand, it's dirt, something like that. So these corpuscles are quite incredible. Everybody's favourite, I guess, is what we said was the Meissner's one, with this lightest touch. And, you know, the brain doesn't, in terms of touch and feeling, because they're so sensitive, the brain doesn't only tell us what it does feel, it tells us what it ought to feel. Now, as an example of that, if you have so we say romantically, the caress of a lover, of a friend, a girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, it's a wonderful.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang, with fun.
It's a wonderful feeling, but that same caress by a stranger is likely to be pretty creepy and horrible. So again, it's the same touch we might feel, but the brain knows whether that's something that is good and beautiful or creepy and unpleasant. So again, these corpuscles do so much that we never really think about. So that's the hand. I mean, there's a lot more we could say about it, but you did pick up something earlier when you said we speak with our hands. Would you say you speak with your hands?
I would, yeah.
You speak a lot?
Yeah. Yeah.
You see it with... Go on. No, after you.
No, I was just gonna say, if you're making a speech or you're trying to say something expressive, the hands would have to be involved somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's quite interesting to watch when we're watching football, say on the TV. The cameras occasionally pan onto the manager at the side. The managers at the side of the pitch, without naming who. One of them, very regularly, when the camera pans onto him, happens to be seemingly picking his nose, and it's not just a one-off. I won't say who it is, but he regularly seems to do that. But you can see them; they're getting angry. They're telling their players what to do. The hands are giving those gestures. Hand gestures is the thing, isn't it? So I'm going to ask you now about some hand gestures, and I only want pleasant ones, no rude ones, please, cuz, coming back from you, because body language, we think really we communicate mainly with our mouths, the words that come out of our mouths, but apparently it can be up to 2/3 of our communication is from body language, facial expression, tone of voice, hand movements, and we'll look at these hand gestures. But again, hands are such a powerful part of communication, and as we know, as we've talked about. So let's think about some of these gestures. What would you think this one means?
Is that
for anyone listening and not watching? I'm tapping the side of my nose. What does that mean then?
Does that mean keeping a secret? Your secret's safe with me, or?
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Secret, confidentiality, a shared understanding of something. Yeah, that's right. Thumbs up. We know what a thumbs up means. What does that mean?
It means everything's all right or okay.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be in the gladiator Roman times, when there was a gladiators duel, they were fighting each other, and Caesar or one of the emperors was in the audience. At the end of the fight, one of them was beaten, and he was laying on the floor, probably beaten and bleeding.
1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show. It's hosted by Cuz. He'll introduce the gang who'll make the show go with a bang.